Hi, everybody. It's Linda G and Mel.
Hey,
We're
hi
doing a little
everybody.
later in the evening today.
Yes, because I had to go to an oral surgeon and a dentist. So
It's just been one of those days. Him and I were just talking. We're going to see each other tomorrow at
so
Sedona.
excited.
And
Um,
I'm exhausted and I'm going to go to sleep after this. I'm too tired, and then I'll get up like at 4 a.m. and finish packing.
I've got everything laid out. I just haven't put it in the suitcase yet, and I'm figured when I get time, I'll get time, right? Well,
Yeah.
I have to, but I'm like you. I'm going to get up early in the morning, and because I have
Now,
to be.
listen, everybody, if you guys could, at least for me, if you could not write me, I can't keep up with the mail I get. And if people are writing when I'm not checking the mail, it'll get worse. Just give us till next week when we get back.
Um, what happens with me, and I certainly appreciate the support, but if they don't get a question answered here, then they email me a question, and I can't get I can't get back to everybody.
Yeah.
uh, and Joan helps me, and she she can't get back to everybody. So yeah, just wait till we get back.
Wait till we get back. So you wanted to say hi to somebody.
Yes, I do. I got to say hi to Leslie Lepowski, mintblizzardbones.com.
Oh, that
Uh,
was about those. Yeah.
Now, the dog's preferred mint for humans. Um, if you want to get a hold of Leslie, call 847-350-8223. You can email her, Leslie at mintblizzardsbones.com. They look like little bones, and they're not for dogs, they're for people. But there's the little dog picture on there, and they are. She sent me a bunch of them. They are. I'll bring a bag. Well, no, you know what? I'll send you a bag because I left them at the office, but they are really good.
Okay. You keep saying that. I just need to try them.
Yep.
Thank you guys for all the questions. We got loads of questions.
Oh, we got a lot of questions. That's good.
Yeah. So Ron said, "Hi, Mel and Linda. Always love seeing you two together. Did Putin poison the Belarusian dictator, Lukashenko?"
Oh, the Belarusian,
Belarusian, yeah. Will he
Belarusian.
survive?
Oh, I didn't know he was poisoned.
Well, they say he's sick, I guess.
Lukashenko, but Lukashenko was like a supporter of Putin. uh,
But he took ill real bad all of a sudden.
well, at least he
I'm
didn't fall.
hearing yes. I'm hearing yes.
That's what
He
I'm
might have
hearing.
started complaining to him.
Well,
You know how he is. He's like George to Satan. He doesn't like anybody complain.
well, I think Putin wanted him to like help him invade, the Baltic republics, and also into Ukraine. And I don't think Lukashenko wanted to.
Okay.
So I agree. I hear yes. I was gonna say at least he didn't at least he didn't fall out of a first floor window and die that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lukashenko will recover, but he didn't win that election fair and square.
Right.
And if you'll think back, you and I talked about this, and we both said that our guide showed us that the people in Belarus would be protesting in the streets and that Lukashenko would be overturned. So
Yes.
maybe that's what we were saying.
Yes. Exactly.
Because I remember both of us talking about it.
Carol says, since George Santos refuses to step down, can and will the ethics committee take action?
I'm sorry, say again.
Since George Santos refuses to step down, I think we answered this before. George Santos is sitting like this, and he's not going to leave till he's told to go. Well, but there's so much coming up on him that he's leaving in shame.
Well, McCarthy doesn't want him to leave until after the elections because, it's a thin razor majority in the House. Exactly. And he's afraid if anybody else leaves, he'll lose the House.
Right.
But I pulled a card and I got the 8 of spades. So Santos, there's a lot of enemies around him. And
Yeah, that people want to know who paid his bail.
well, that'll come out. You know what? But they're playing some of those ultra right wing Trumplicans are playing him like a fiddle. Because you watch after the elections, they'll get rid of him so fast your head will swim.
Like he's a nobody, a nothing.
They'll throw him under a bus. And you know what? As anti-gay as the Trumplicans are, you know, here's a guy who's gay. He's a sociopath. I think he was a drag queen too. I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
All of a sudden they're kind of turning a blind eye to that, but yet they're picking on transgendered and gay people. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, Santos, whoever paid his bail, it will not be released. Not now, at least.
Nope. And it's going to come out where he got a lot of that money from.
Yes.
And I see at least 3 or 4 more people being indicted or falling down or being exposed because they helped him because they wanted to buy favors.
My sister wrote me and told me that one of my predictions came true, that the Kennedy papers, you know, he worked 4 years on this Kennedy thing, ended up being a nothing burger. And by the by, they were talking on the news. Bill Barr went with the Durham papers, sorry.
The Durham report, yeah.
The Durham report. That Barr went with Durham to Italy and other places, and they said, who does that? What AG goes with a special counsel? So they found out some more stuff about Trump, not Biden.
Well, I remember you saying, and we were talking about it, and your exact words were, and my guides concurred, you said that this whole Durham report would be a nothing burger.
Yes, that's what my sister said.
And basically all Durham's doing is just repeating what was already out there.
He was desperate to find something, though.
But he really didn't find anything.
But they said he had such a good reputation. He was such a good counsel. He was so good at what he did. Then it's like that Trump thing where they turn. And what the hell was Barr doing?
If somebody had integrity, and if they were that great, they would have never, ever drank the Trump Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So he must have been paid off. It was his stepping stone to power, so he thought.
Right.
But you know what? It's his undoing, really.
I know. And this was the thing Trump leaned in. You just wait. When these Durham papers come out, there's going to be all kinds of people indicted. You just wait.
I'm waiting.
So Trump announced to Michael Flynn, you stay healthy, my friend, because when I get back in office, I'm bringing you back in.
Well, I see Flynn is not out of the woods yet, and I keep seeing him indicted. And you know what? Trump's got another sudden shock coming from bad news, because I just pulled the 6 of diamonds, and 6 of diamonds means shock from bad news. So there's either other indictments coming down or something.
Something's coming up. We might even be up in Sedona when you know what hits the fans.
And as Durham too.
Yeah.
You know, he's done after this.
Yeah, he's done and dusted. So what, you want to pick a question?
Yeah, the people it was on your community page, but when you share it, it's like, but I'll pick one.
Okay.
Candy Chavez says, this election in Turkey and all of the interference has me on edge. Do you know how it may turn out?
Now they say what's his name? Ergo.
I can't think of his name.
Anyway, it starts with the Ergo or something like that. The militant one, the one that tries to favor with Trump. I mean, with Putin. They said that he's never had to run again because it was so close he had to run again. But I didn't feel he would win. So I could be wrong.
Well, I pulled the 7 of Hearts, which means a change of residence for him. So I would take that to mean that he's out of their version of the White House.
Yep.
And I'm intuiting that he won't win. And I see him out of power unless there's some hanky panky going on in the elections there.
Right.
At some point, I think Turkey was keeping, was it Sweden or Finland out of NATO? But I think, didn't Finland join NATO? I think they did.
They're trying to. Turkey was the one that was keeping them out.
Well, guess what? I see Finland and Sweden in. So
okay. I could have it wrong, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I could have it wrong too. But there's some underhanded stuff going on in that election.
So Lois sent us some good news.
I'm sorry. Oh, good.
CNN's ratings are the lowest they've ever been. I vowed never to watch again after their latest shenanigans with Trump. What direction will they go in? Are they regretting the Trump town hall?
It's funny. About 5 or 6 years ago, I told my husband, I said, I'm going to stop watching CNN. I said, because they're going too far to the right for me. He goes, Mel, they're not to the right at all. I go, yeah, they are. And he kind of looked at me and here we are. It used to be we were in Europe, we'd watch CNN and I mean, you got the true story, but now,
yeah.
So their ratings are going to go further and further and further down.
Right.
I think that Trump town hall, people put together that look, that really wasn't a town hall. That was Trump having all of his supporters in a room, just listening to him spew his rhetoric.
And a lot of people didn't say anything because you couldn't boo him or anything.
Correct.
But also they had a group of 8 people post that show. And they said to them, what do you think? And some of the Trumpians said, it's the same thing, different day. It's Trump. That's who he is. But they said, of all of you, who would vote for him? And only one person raised their hand.
Well, I pulled the Ace of Clubs, which means misadventures for T-Rump and for CNN. They're going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
I see, I intuit their ratings will continue to go down. They're not, did you notice they're not doing any town halls for any Democrats, are they? And I've got a funny feeling a lot of those people in the audience were paid to be there.
Right. Trump's numbers are going down, but the Satan has gone up a little bit.
Oh, I'm still working on that. They're paving the roads with radioactive waste in Florida.
Well,
now passed a law in Florida where they can't.
You heard about all the rigmarole going on, that all the people that come and pick their crops and stuff has said, nah, we're not coming.
Oh, plus he passed that they can't teach critical race theory in colleges, or that state-supported colleges, or they can't have any more programs of diversity and inclusiveness.
I don't know who the hell, somebody was telling me, everybody, all the students are getting out of Florida to go to school.
Oh.
Sorry, Jesus.
Here's another one. Atlanta Brook gal. Oh, this is a good one.
What?
Talk about CNN. She says, will CNN go completely conservative, or will it be sold and go back to left-wing channel? Will there be another left-wing channel that will come about, or will MSNBC be the only one left? What does the future hold for Don Lemon? Oh, well, unless Elon Musk is thinking about buying CNN, but CNN used to be owned by Ted Turner, and when it was owned by him, I think it was really decent. But I see them going further to the right, absolutely. But this new CEO, I don't think is going to last long. That's what I pick up.
I see someone exiting
So do
because they
I.
got more bad news coming.
Yep. And I see them, they're gonna start getting a lot of lawsuits because of that town hall with Trump and all the BS that came out about it. And here
Oh.
again, the vote, oh, the election was stolen. You know what? They better watch it, because the same thing that happened to Fox is going to happen to them.
Right, exactly.
And these people are winning huge lawsuits.
More lawsuits are coming to Fox as we speak.
Oh, Tucker Carlson's going to get sued too. Huge.
Oh, he acts like he's going to get back at Fox News. He's not going to be able to do nothing.
Well, I think he's got some kind of Twitter show or something starting, and had 100 million views or whatever, but I don't know. I see a lot of lawsuits against him for libel as well.
Yes, for saying stuff that's not true.
Correct.
So Be Kind says, can you change the trajectory of your life by making positive changes in actions or causes you make?
I say absolutely.
Yeah, well, if you focus into well-being and allow well-being to work through you, it'll just take you there.
Yeah, we have free choice. I mean, it's not like, it's not like I'm not that fatalistic to think that we don't have free choice. Of course we have free choice.
But do you think like some things like karmic issues, past life issues, sometimes it's presented in the lifetime?
I do, but I think it's how we deal with them.
Right. Because I know people that go over the same thing over and over again until they learn it.
Because we have free choice as to how we deal with those past karmic issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Oh, this is a good one.
What do you got?
Hold on. Okay. All right. When are we going to have a different, better political party than Democrats or Republicans? Asking for a friend. It's like,
I love it.
Friend.
I love it.
The best predictions. Well, I think both of us, and even Kevin Chandler, had said there's going to be, a fracture in the Republican Party, but I kept seeing another party coming into play, more like a workers' party, which was more like for the working class.
I see the Republican Party making a 180-degree turn and turning into more logical, a better place, not as bad. Because sometimes the Democrats can go way far left,
Yeah, but I see ultimately an end to this fascism in government, and an end to the MAGA, however you pronounce it. I always say the MAGA, ultra right-wing Christian nationalists, and this is an American apartheid. It's like this little group pushing their beliefs down our throats.
Yeah.
And we can't lose our voices. So I clearly see another party that's going to be for the middle class and the working people.
Exactly. Well, don't forget too, as Trump falls, as his reign falls, I see people that were all part of this suspicious energy, that this you fight for the white man and all, losing their voice.
Right.
People aren't paying attention to them.
I'm sorry, say that last part again.
People will not be paying attention to them.
I agree, especially in certain states when they're trying to do away with inclusiveness and diversity and all of that stuff. And, we're not going to go back 70 or 80 years.
Well, and this whole thing about telling a woman what she can do with her body. In the meantime, they're selling $380 billion worth of Viagra.
And how, right?
If you got it broken, don't use it. We're not going to pay for this Viagra anymore.
They don't want to pay for contraception for women, birth control pills. They don't want women to have choice over their bodies.
They
But
won't do gun control. That's killing the babies.
that's right. That's right. And that's what I always say. Like, they talk about right to life, but you let these goofs get, you know, AK of assault weapons and go into schools and kill kids. And you're
Yeah.
talking about right to life.
Yeah.
Oh, and in Texas, well, they passed a law where you have to be 21 to get an assault weapon. Okay. What does that do? Nothing.
Yeah.
That does absolutely nothing. How about just banning assault weapons?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But
That's a ways off, though. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm so sorry, you guys, but that's a little ways off. But you know what? I'm glad I don't live in Texas or Florida.
it will happen. I do see a ban on assault weapons.
Yeah.
Because with their logic, then why not let people carry hand grenades and bazookas and rocket launchers?
Today on the news, there's a particular, I can't think of his name, he's a senator that's going to represent his bill to expand Congress. I mean, SCOTUS.
Oh, good.
13.
My favorite number.
And
I
they,
always said I see more justices on the court.
right now, Biden isn't really into that. He's not really saying he's thrilled with that, but he may do it. Because they're saying 2 seats were stolen. Obama chose Merrick Garland and they didn't let him. And then 1 week before the election, they pushed that other woman in.
Well, that's because Mitch McConnell, it was an election year. And an election year, you know, and then his rhetoric was, well, we controlled both houses and at least 2 houses, so that's how we could make it right. And Ram wrote Amy Coney Barrett, and that's. But you know what? If the Democrats did that, oh my God,
Oh my God.
yeah. So Mitch McConnell, we can thank him for.
Well, it's just like Donald Trump at that thing. Somebody showed, I didn't watch it, but somebody showed a bit where she said, I thought you said you wouldn't allow the ceiling, that the debt ceiling should not ever be, broken. You should always pay. America needs to pay debts. He said, well, I said that when I was president. I'm not president anymore.
Yeah, well, who's running the House? Is it McCarthy? Wrong.
Right.
We know Cheeto Head is.
I call him Orange Crush.
Cheeto Head, Orange Crush. I remember the first time that we ever talked, you said to me, what do you think of Trump? And I said, Cheeto Head, expletive.
He's going down too. He's going down hard.
And he's looking bad.
Yeah.
All right.
And he told Flynn, stay healthy, my friend, because when I get back in office, I'm bringing you in.
Well, that's a joke. I just pulled a card on that when I pulled the 7 of clubs, and it signifies sorrow. It signifies lies. It signifies cheating, immorality, and that'll all come to the surface.
Right.
All right.
Well, you got another one for us, babes?
Yes. Okay. Floppy button me. I like that. I have been seeing other psychic channels talking about dark energy and how the US has been taken over by these dark entities to organize covert military technology, Havana Syndrome and others. Is this true? Do we have certain military commands using these technologies, and are they attacking people of the light? I don't see that.
I don't see it either because the light is way too bright.
Correct.
Don't forget, you guys, there's more of us than there are of them.
Correct. That's why I said the American apartheid.
And don't fear them. People get in a panic. Oh my God, they're doing this, they're doing that. Just whatever.
It was like in South Africa for years. Apartheid was a small group of whites, controlling a population mostly of black, Native Africans. And so it was apartheid. Right. And that's what's going on here. This ultra right small group, they're just trying to instill fascism, racism, bigotry under the guise of individual freedom. I'm like, what? I think the government should keep their eyes out of women's vaginas. Pardon my language.
Oh, they just want to run us. Did you ever see that Democrat that had actually had an abortion, and abortion is between my husband, myself, my doctor, and my God? And then she gets in office and then she switches over to Republican.
Yes. Yes.
I see her voted way the F out. She's
I forgot her name, but people were hopping mad about that.
Because even Planned Parenthood or some group that belonged to Planned Parenthood gave her money for her to win that seat.
Either I just got this psychic flash, unless she was a Republican acting like a Democrat.
I don't know.
Knows so she could get in power. But she gave some cockamamie excuse why she changed parties. But boy, the constituents were really mad.
Oh, because the Democrats just aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, right. I see some legislation coming down to say that the people can't do that. If you're elected this party.
Oh, yes. Or you got to pay everybody back the money they gave you.
Or have a special runoff election.
Well, let me tell you something too. I got this flash and I'll just say it out loud, you guys. I'm looking at her, and when they showed her making the spiel about her abortion, she was a pretty heavy set woman. She didn't look very attractive, and now she looks like she lost a lot of weight. She's real attractive. And I looked at her and I thought, oh, she's probably having an affair with a Republican.
She
probably met someone, because one sign of a woman kind of getting svelte pretty fast is they're in love.
You're probably.
I'm just saying.
Entertainment
purposes only.
I can't say what I'm really thinking.
So we'll see.
It's like, who's stumping whom?
And Giuliani's in huge trouble.
Oh, he's in deep doo-doo.
He's his somebody that worked for him said he forced her to work naked.
Oh, jeez.
He forced oral copulation. He forced her to, and him and Trump, according to her testimony, and I totally believe this 100%, but for entertainment purposes only, that they sold pardons at $2 million.
Oh, they did. Absolutely.
Yes. And I always knew that.
Oh, absolutely.
And they shared, he was the one that hustled to get the people, and then him and Trump shared the money.
You and I had talked about that before, about them selling pardons.
But this girl's going to come forward and talk about it.
And she will, and there'll be more coming forward. I pulled the 10 of diamonds, which means it means death, but not like a physical death, but a death of his career, a death of his integrity. Well, he never had any.
Right.
But oh yeah. There's going to be a lot coming out about him, but I still see him with numerous indictments.
Trump or Giuliani?
Giuliani.
Oh, Giuliani, I saw in a orange suit.
Oh, good. But that'll match Trump's hair.
Giuliani, I'll go to jail.
Yep. All right. Oh, okay. You want to go, or should I?
You say it because you said, ooh, so you saw something good.
I did. Peanut 2046 says, hi, Linda and Mel. In Alberta, Canada, there's a right-wing group called Take Back Alberta. To me, they seem kind of MAGA, or is it MAGA? MAGA, I think it's pronounced MAGA. Are they going to be successful in the next few years? We have an election coming, and I would not like to see Alberta shift too far right. Thanks to you both for your continued insight on issues. Love from Canada. Hey, Canada. Well, my guides told me in Canada, folks, you all better be careful, because the same thing can happen there that happened here.
I feel they're going to get a little taste of it.
They'll get a little taste of it. But I don't think that Alberta is going to go as far right as Peanut is worried about.
Yeah, but they're going to get a little taste of it. They may get some. I almost feel like they can get rid of their people faster than we can.
Yeah, I don't know how the law works there, but But you know what, Peanut? That's a good question. And you know, folks in Canada, speak up. Everybody get
Right.
out and vote.
So I got a question from Kathy. And this is what I was talking about, that there's a senator that's putting in expand the Supreme Court. But also Shelton Whitehouse and some other people are really going to hit the Supreme Court with some sort of ethics.
My guides have been telling me that too.
But can they do it with with that group that McCarthy's in charge of?
Well,
I feel like they can't do it till they get rid of them.
Correct. I see legislation passed at some point that it will be law that that Supreme Court justices cannot take gifts from people who want political favors or
Exactly.
It's going to be a strict code of ethics, and when they have to recuse themselves.
Right. I mean, one of I can't remember, it's one of the females. She refused a tray of bagels because she didn't want it to look like a favor.
Exactly. And you know what? If she was a Democrat and if the Republicans picked up on that, oh my God, they would have had a field day with it.
Yeah. But this particular, the one that McCarthy's in charge of, they don't care about ethics. Not at all.
Well, there will be ethics coming down though. And I see a Supreme Court coming in the future who will have the justices will have integrity.
Right. And they're just putting them alongside the other justices. They're
Right.
just the ones that act like we're untouchable, but no, you're touchable now.
Well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is working from the other side to make sure that the Supreme Court gets cleaned out really well.
Yeah. And she always knew this too, by the way. Who was her friend that died before her?
Oh,
Alioto, or what was his
Alito.
name? Alito.
Alito. Yeah, they were friends. He was a conservative and she was a liberal, but they were good friends.
But he was taking money just like Thomas.
Well, you know, a lot of this is going to come more public about how some of this money, and I think somebody in a religious organization did, and how they met with the Supreme Court Justice, was it Kavanaugh? I forget who, to have political favors done. I think for abortion or something. And it was just like, do you guys realize the can of worms that you've just opened? That's what they told these justices. And here we are. And
yeah,
more
that caused everybody to look at them with a microscope.
Oh, more of it's going to come out. I'm telling you, there's going to be a
yeah.
lot of people in religions that are going to come out and say, here's what happened. You know, that these people funded some of the justices on the court to get.
Sheldon Whitehouse has already asked the DOJ to have the IRS look at Thomas's
tax returns.
Tax returns. That comes open. There's more stuff coming. I'm telling you, I see his wife spewing. I see her running in circles. That's going to happen.
There's going to come, in addition to Thomas, there's going to be more stuff coming out, I think, about Gorsuch and Kavanaugh.
Okay.
Same kind of stuff.
Can you believe some blowhard just put up a bill reversing the $35 for a vial of insulin? What the heck are they thinking? Why would you do that?
Well, you know what? Because there's somebody who is in a pharmaceutical company, or somebody who's gotten some money, who's gotten their palm greased to keep from putting a cap on insulin prices. That should be illegal. And I think at some point they will put ceilings on how much these companies can charge for drugs. In other words, they won't be able to price gouge.
Well, one of the things in Biden's that he presented McCarthy with a budget, a solid one. he said, first of all, don't let the oil companies get these big payments. They made billions of dollars and we're getting them compensation. Stop that. That's going to save the United States a lot of money. And let Medicare deal with these pharmaceuticals and come up with the rates that Canada has.
Right.
And oh, no, we can't do that.
Well, McCarthy and you know, some of that small group of Trumplicans, and Trump is behind it. They just want to make the Democrats look bad. They don't give one hoot about the economy of this country. Those ultra right-wing MAGA Christian Trumplicans, they don't care. They don't care. They will crash the economy to keep power and to try to win an election. They don't give a hoot.
No. So listen, Eleanor said, when the global monetary systems, when will we switch to quantum financial system? I don't see that happening until after 2030.
I don't either.
Thank you.
I don't think it's going to be a while. Did we ask this one, CJ Chan 19?
What?
Who paid George Santos bail?
Yeah, I think I asked that.
Oh, will the information be released or investigative reporters find out? I think investigative reporters are going to find out.
I do too. I do too. I don't know when. It might be after he's already in jail, but
how much was his bail? I don't even know.
500,000.
That was 500,000 he had to come up with, right?
Yes.
Because typically it's 10%. So what do you?
Oh, well, maybe it was 10% of the. No, but they were on the news. They were saying who paid the 500,000.
Wow.
Whoa. So that means the bail was way higher than that.
Yeah, a lot. Wow. Okay. Oh.
What?
Oh, this one's a good one. Glad to see you. Was reported today that a foreign government's nuclear capability was found at Mar-a-Lago. I'm sure that phone call was uncomfortable to make, especially if it's a friend. Will this speed up Jack Smith and Garland? Pretty sure whichever country was affected isn't too happy. They said the only eyes to have access to it here in the US is the president and a handful of top level and key positions. Wow.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I didn't, but
oh, let me tell you, I see, like, it's quiet right now, like, but behind closed doors in the Pentagon, people are bouncing off each other.
Oh my God. It is a you-know-what show.
Well, listen, remember when he fired Comey and he was there with the Russian people in the White House and saying, I'm so glad I got rid of him. And he was talking secrets out loud. I remember the UK was furious. Like, what the hell is he doing?
And when he had those Russian diplomats here and he didn't even let the press know, the way everybody found out was through the Moscow press. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh man, this is gonna, remember we said there's something huge that's gonna blow? I think, well, this is gonna be huge. These nuclear documents that
that I saw. The guides told me more so than, not that he's not going to get in trouble for January 6th for sedition, but more so something to do with classified documents.
Oh, this is going to be huge, Linda.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of huge stuff coming, and this is one of them. Wait till this story breaks completely. It's going to be like, what?
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Oh, it's like every sheet that they turn back, they're going to find more cockroaches.
Right. We're a year and a half away from the voting for a new president. And God love this person who just sent this. There are rumblings that Trump is going to win 2024. I don't know who's rumbling, but they're probably going to have diarrhea because that is not going to happen.
I don't see it happening.
I'm so sure, but sometimes you get that feeling where you just absolutely. I'm more sure of him losing this time than I was the last time.
Well, I pull the King of Spades, which in this case would be him not being king, but just a lot of turbulence coming in his personal life, a lot of turbulence he's trying to create and chaos is going to bite them in the rear end. So,
Exactly.
all right. Let's see. Ooh.
What do you got?
Let me see here. Okay. Something is in the music, Diana RN. Hi, lovely Linda, marvelous Mel. That's nice. Thank you. The insider who is going to dish about how Trump handled and likely presented and displayed the classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. Will she or he have to go into hiding? And will this testimony finally be the linchpin that dismantles all of Trump's treasonous lies? I had a dream before the seizure where I saw Trump display military documents to a small group in a small sized room. Whoa, that's a good
Whoa.
one.
Well, his son-in-law sold all kinds of information to Saudi Arabia.
I think I don't know if it's the linchpin, but that's what we just talked about. But it's one of the linchpins, and it's going to be a huge linchpin that will that actually Trump will say it's not treason because he was president, but I still see. You had said this a long time ago, Linda, when I first met you, that you saw on television that Trump was not for insurrection, but that Trump was charged with treason. I remember you telling me that.
I heard that as loud as can be, treason.
I remember that. So maybe this is it, what she's talking about.
He's got so much that's coming up, it's not even funny. That's why I don't know if he's going to last. You know, there's just too much pressure.
I mean, it's going to be, like I said, you know, every sheet they uncover is going to be cockroaches. Jack Smith is on to a lot of stuff.
He's got a plethora of things.
But they're
so much fun.
They're thinking that he needs to hurry up because people are worried. And I saw a strategist talking about this, that Trump wants Jack Smith to go slowly because it can run out the clock. But
no, he's not going to. He knows exactly the timeline he has.
Exactly.
He knows, he's looking at the clock.
Correct.
So Cindy wants to know what becomes of Melania Trump.
Well, for entertainment purposes only. I mean, I don't think her and Cheeto Head are that close.
I don't see her around him.
And I think, you know, I don't see them together in the future. And I probably think she's going to lead her own life, and that she would get a very good settlement not to go public and say anything.
Right. Well, she is working on his behalf right now. She's trying to act like she's involved with the campaign, but he's going to go down so hard, so hard. Oh my God, that I feel like she just grabs Barron and her parents and they move away.
Well, I pulled the 5 of spades. Ooh. All right. Which means illness, loss of property. And if she has anything to do with him, she too could lose a lot of her settlement. Trump is going to have a lot of loss of property, a lot of loss of everything.
Yeah.
So
Mary wants to know whatever happened to Biden's student forgiveness program. Well, isn't that on the lap of the Supreme Court right now?
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, they're trying to act like it's unconstitutional. Let me just throw a card and see what it says. Will it ever come through? This is success, you guys. I saw it coming through before. Just wait for it. Even if the Supreme Court tries to knock it down, there's going to be so many people walking the streets. Let me tell you, I saw a lot of chaos on both sides. And don't forget my vision of seeing some sort of news station or radio station being taken over.
That student forgiveness bill might look for a while like it's dead in the water, but then
but he's that, you know what? Just remember, Biden is a Scorpio. He's not gonna let it go. He's not gonna let it go. That's his baby. He's gonna make sure it happens.
I pulled a Jack of Diamonds, which actually for a while it might seem like it's dead, but it won't. That Jack of Diamonds means it's a sign of good news. So
right. A lot of people are asking how our little Ace is doing. You know, he took a turn for the worse. His pressure in his brain is bad. Today, I haven't heard from my niece. I sent him a little gift today too. And I haven't heard anything. And you know how you don't want to bother someone because she's in the unit with the baby. If something happens, she would let us know. So I'm just waiting. But even if I'm in Sedona, I'll post to everybody how he's doing.
Yeah, we're all praying for him, Linda.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
What?
this is going. I don't know if we talked about this one, but here again, will CNN decide not to hold town halls with Trump only in the future, or will they continue to do it for the ratings? Well, it didn't help the ratings any.
No, the ratings fell terribly.
Unless they're doing it for money, but that's not going to look good. All right. Do you have one, Linda?
Cynthia said, will James Clyburn, House Rep from South Carolina, be asked to step down? He's 82 years old. He worked with Republicans to gerrymander. So that
I don't know if he'll step down, but you know, when you said that, I saw a coffin and I got the smell like when you walk in a funeral home, and I saw a hand going like this. And whenever spirit shows me those three things together, not because he's 82, but I don't feel, and I don't wish him harm at all.
no,
I don't think he's going to be on this earth plane not long at all.
yeah. I think I remember looking at his eyes and thinking something was up, like a stroke coming or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's something not right. I mean, his
like
health.
He fizzles out. Yeah.
Elizabeth Garcia wants to know, will Flynn be stripped of his military rank? Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes. Yes, please.
All right.
Okay. Lady Day said, now that jury has found 45 liable of an assault to Miss Carroll, what do Ivanka and Tiffany think of their father?
Well, I'm sure deep inside one of them knows it's true, but then another one is probably thinking, oh, it's a witch hunt. He didn't do it. Blah,
Well,
blah.
you know, they think of him as an embarrassment.
Of course. But I think deep inside, they know.
Yeah. And also, Ivanka's not Ivanka. Is it Ivanka? Yeah, Ivanka is going through a hell of a time. I'm telling you right now, she's going through a hell of a time. I think her marriage is imploding. I think it's kind of all about her too, by the way. Don't let her fool you. She acted like she was she thought when her father became president, she would be this diplomat, and by the way, China, hand me these things and give me this and give me that. But she thought she could crap on the Washington floors and we wouldn't smell it.
Well, I think she thought that she was going to be like, I pulled the jack of clubs. You know, she thought she was going to get all this this honor, recognition.
Yes.
Like she was going
to she'd be sought after.
Correct. Well, guess what? It backfired.
And she's furious at Trump about it.
Well, there's going to be a lot more things coming about her and her marriage. I pulled the 5 of Hearts. It means the moon, exposure of secrets, all of that. And a lot more stuff coming out about Trump and the shenanigans he pulled with some of the things he's done with women.
Well, the other thing is, I read there or listened, I get audio to the book of her assistant, the one that was so brokenhearted that she turned on her. And she said, remember when Melania made that speech that was verbatim, word for word, a Michelle Obama speech?
Oh, yeah.
Ivanka set that up. Wow. Ivanka did that to her because this lady was furious at Ivanka for doing that. And Trump didn't even get involved. He didn't do anything to protect his wife.
What does that tell you? That Ivanka should have had somebody like fact checking the speech. I mean, it was almost verbatim what Michelle Obama had said.
It was verbatim. They literally took the speech and gave it to her and were laughing their asses off when she was up there saying it and made her look so stupid. But, you know, she's not smart enough to say, wait a second, what the hell? This is Michelle Obama's. What are you doing? Because, you know, they were doing things to her all the time to make her look stupid.
Well, they can't say it's because her English was bad because she speaks English.
And she don't speak no 5 languages.
Oh, please. If she speaks 5 languages, I am a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. Amy David, 1111. Will North Carolina governor's veto of restricted abortion law be upheld, or will the Republicans overturn the governor's veto of their terrible law? Only one Republican is needed to break ranks and protect women's rights. North Carolina voters support women's reproductive rights. Well, I'm glad that the governor vetoed that, but I'm picking up that the Republicans will get the votes to uphold
Override them.
that awful law, but then they're going to get voted out of office.
That's what I got too. All this stuff with Roe, it's really terrible. They're even trying to stop getting by mail birth control pills, for Christ's sakes. They're even trying to stop birth. What the hell are these men thinking? What are they thinking? Is it really about power?
Of course it is.
We're going to have power over you. And by the way, when that baby is born, it's on you, and we're not going to make the men responsible.
It's like my friend Jim Hall says, they don't give one hoot about abortion. All they want is to pander to the ultra right wing so they can keep power. That's it. But you know what? I do think, and I could be wrong, that I'm glad the governor vetoed that bill, like I said, but I think the Republicans will override the governor's veto. So for a while, it'll look like the Republicans win, but I'm looking in about 2 years, then that terrible abortion law will be overturned again.
You get these young people out to vote, they're going to take care of business.
Correct. That's what I see. So I see at some point it going back to not right to life, but pro-choice.
You know, I was listening to this person that was studying the lost you know, that were found in the caves.
Oh, the Dead Sea
Gospels, the Mary one and the Thomas and all this. And in those Gospels, the way he was explaining it, they were saying Jesus was not in a scene. That Jesus was because the Essenes wanted to start war or something. But he did say that one of the things Jesus did not like, I guess Paul was the one that did the church. And Paul didn't even know who Jesus was. But when that Constantine came in, he changed all of it. He even got rid of the females in it. They didn't like females to be involved. But one of the hard parts of being in this world with this energy, with this anxiousness towards women, is a lot of these religions, these he said, Christians and Catholics have killed more people in this world, even than the Muslims or any other religions.
Well, look at the Inquisitions.
Look at the Inquisitions, and the Catholics are just really have. And he said, you know how Catholics like to fast and stuff like that? Nothing wrong. I mean, that's their little thing. But he said the actual Christ energy doesn't like man to dogma him or to make some sort of. Jesus was the one who said, you know, when you're at a person's house, eat their food, drink their drink, enjoy. It wasn't, you know, oh, fast on this day because that's the only way to get to heaven.
Well, the Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox do the fasting during Lent. But somebody asked me, what'd you give up for Lent? And I said, riding in submarines. And they were like, well, you're not going to give up anything to cleanse yourself? I said, from what?
Yeah,
I said, no. What I do is I like to do a good deed every day, not only during Lent, but every day.
every day.
Because God would want us to do something good for somebody.
Right. But God
That's
isn't
why-
impressed with these traditions that these people like to hold, that you got to do this, fish on Fridays, this or that, in order to be a good Christian. I went with, when I was working at ER, I met some ER nurses that were Christian, and they invited me on Mother's Day to go with them to their church. And I went because they bugged the crap out of me. And I just decided, okay, I'll just go get it over with. It was Mother's Day. So they gave every mother in there a carnation, and we all sat down. And that preacher went up there and said, you know, I was driving by someplace, he was saying, and I looked at all these women. I thought, oh, isn't that a shame? They're all going to burn in hell because they're not Christian. He didn't even know if they were or were not Christian. I couldn't help it. I had to stand up and say, are you full of crap or what?
Well, then obviously he ain't.
Well, he's judging. So once you start judging, it's over.
Well, he ain't living up to the Bible, because the Bible says, do not judge lest ye be judged. You know, it's funny. My mom was Catholic and my dad was Protestant. So we had to take catechisms.
Yeah.
And my dad was United Church of Christ. It's a very liberal Protestant church. But from the time that we were 12 or 11, I think, we had to go to confirmation class every Friday for 3 hours for 2 years to be confirmed. So we started with the book of Genesis, went through the entire Bible, and ended with Revelation. So when people quote the Bible to me, I'm like, don't go there, because, you know, I've read it, and it's like they so easily take things out of context
Right.
to twist it and turn it.
For whatever they want. Yeah.
And you know, there's some great stories in the Bible, but you can't twist it and turn it to make it fit what you want it to fit. You've got to look at it in the entirety.
But you know, I know some really good religious people. They're really religious. They love their faith. They're stuck in that, but I don't hear them judging, or they're good people.
Well, like Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy Carter was Christian. And when they asked him about gay marriage, he said, there's nothing in the scriptures, especially the New Testament, about gay people getting married. He said, so I don't understand what the big problem with it is. You know, he said, God made them too. And I was like, you know, he lived to help others, and he wasn't judgmental. In my opinion, that's what Christianity should be, not what I call it nowadays.
Right.
Because if that's Christianity was going on nowadays, especially with the Marjorie Taylor Greens and these people who claim
I'm
to
a
be
good Christian woman, and
Yeah,
I'm
right.
just going to talk trash about you and give hate.
Yeah,
But
right.
you know what? Here's the thing too, is that those of us who know this is wrong and who understand that, you know, faith is not, you don't have to stand in no line. You can be connected to source at all times, to connect to the Christ conscious. But the other thing is, we can't judge them either. Let them go. Let them do what they need to do.
Well, I think there's a difference between judgment and a reality call.
Yeah.
And so if they're judging other people, it's okay to say that's wrong.
Right.
You know, that's a reality call. Now, if we were judgmental about, you know, whatever, like the way about their religion and all that, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know, my husband was a Jehovah's Witness, and he was because he was gay, you know, when they disfellowship you, they shun you. But here again, it doesn't make them bad people. There's some very good people that are Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
And if that's the way that they use to achieve their spirituality, I'm not going to be mean to them. When they come to my porch, I talk to them and I tell them, you're not going to change me because I found my way to achieve my spirituality. And so I think it gets judgy when you say, well, my way is the only way. Wrong.
Well, I got to tell you something. When we were young, you used to get the Jehovah and some other group that used to come up. You'd have to come up a long driveway to come up to our house. My brother would see them coming, and we had a phonograph in the front in the living room. We used to play music all the time. And at Woodstock, we had the Woodstock album. And Country Joe and the Fish had a song that said, "Give me an F, F,
Oh,
give me
yeah.
a U, give me,
There's
he
1, 2,
blasted
3.
it. He
I'm sorry.
blasted that song. What's that spell? What's that spell? He blasted it so loud they would come up to the door and they turn around and walk away.
Oh, yeah. I remember the rest of us like, don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3. Open up the pearly gate. Uncle Sam's got us in a jam down in Vietnam.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, wow. That's, hey, we're dating ourselves.
That's
can't
back in the day, my friend. Well,
Oh,
listen, it's time to stop. We got to get our sleep. We got to get up early tomorrow, pack our bags and get out of here.
I got to get my Aloha shirts in my bag.
Yeah, I got to get my tarot cards. Could you imagine me? I had a dream. I forgot my wallet. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that reminds me. You know
What?
what? I put my wallet in the cookie jar.
Get it out.
So I was like, I'm glad you reminded me because it's like, wow, yeah.
I could see us all sitting at the dinner table. Linda, you guys, I forgot my wallet. Crickets. Nobody says nothing.
It's like, how did you get on the airplane? I don't know, but I forgot my wallet.
Yeah, you need your wallet, my friend. All
It's
right,
like,
honey.
looks like you're gonna have to do dishes.
You guys, it's wonderful. And listen, we'll hope to try to do a little live bit from Sedona. I'm bringing the holder for the camera. So
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna bring my laptop because a lot of times I can't even get reception.
I know it's very hard to get reception up there.
Linda, thanks for doing this a little bit later on.
That's okay, honey. That's okay. Can you hear the dogs coming?
I can hear him.
All right, you guys, you take care.
Lucky's with
Bye.
Debbie.